What is up, Raider Nation? This is Wi-Fi Willie, and David Carr just appeared on Cowherd and made some statements that I want you to pay attention to towards the end of this clip. I'm just going to show you the clip right away. We're going to react and talk about it because it is very serious about Derek Carr's future with the Raiders. Check it out.
And what if there's somebody out there? I don't know if you've talked to him about this. What is best for your brother? What would you do if you own the Raiders?
Man, that's complicated. That's a great question, because when you look at it, and this is kind of, it's similar to what Aaron's going through, although Derek's in a completely different world. He played in his first playoff game. There is a sense as a veteran quarterback and Derek, and talking to him, man, he went through an emotional roller coaster. They did about as good as you could do this year with what they were given, and they made it work. They're not that far away. If you could add a couple pieces, we all know one of his best friends is Devontae Adams, and he possibly could not be franchise tagged, and we could see what happens there. But honestly, and this is not coming from Derek, this is coming from a NFL Network analyst, a guy that jumps on Colin's show and talks about football, talks about it with his friends. There has to be a commitment from the organization that they're going to give him what he needs to succeed. He only wants to win a Super Bowl. He's not here for the money. He's talked about hanging it up when John retired, and all of that.
Whoa, just pause real quick. Very good statement there. He has to have a commitment from the organization that they're going to give Derek Carr what he needs. People and Raiders fans talk about all the time how Derek Carr, his top receivers are Hunter Renfrow. Then he's got Zay Jones and Waller. Not quite what other teams in the NFL has. Not quite what Patrick Mahomes has. Very bold statement there. And this is just after they talked about Matthew Stafford. He left the Lions, didn't have exactly what he needed there in that organization, joined the Rams, and look at him go. Another weird statement that's already right there. He's talked about retiring with Gruden, where it talked about hanging it up when Gruden retired. Very interesting to note. Carr's Raider for Life comment, I think, really meant a lot when you had John Gruden. He made the comment he's going to retire and be a Raider for life. If he got traded anywhere else, he would retire. That was when we had Gruden. Then you have David Carr here saying that Derek Carr's talked about hanging it up when Gruden retires. However, Gruden got canceled and is no longer the coach. Let's hear some more.
Well, he's not here for the money. He's talked about hanging it up when John retired. And all of that stuff is, I want to win. That's it. At the end of the day, I want to win football games. He'd love to do it in Las Vegas, but he wants a chance to do it. He knows that there are pieces that you can put in place here. They're as close as they've ever been. They're right on the cusp. They got in the playoffs. They played against a team that's in the AFC Championship, in their stadium, battled down to the wire. They're right there. They need some pieces. They need to see from the Raiders that there's commitment there. We talk about it a lot with the Raiders. We talk about commitment to excellence. Al Davis preached it. That needs to happen because I can't guarantee that Derek is going to want to sign up for that if it's going to be the same thing that he's done over the last 7 or 8 years. I can't guarantee that, knowing my brother. Now, he hasn't said anything to me. I just have conversations openly, talk candidly about it.
I mean, how crazy is that? Like, I would have never expected that last offseason. David Carr going on not even national, international television and saying he can't guarantee that Derek Carr is going to sign up for what the Raiders have to offer, what the Raiders have offered him the past 8 years. This is David Carr. This is the most brazen and blunt I have ever seen David Carr or any of the Carr brothers. And by the way, him saying he hasn't talked to Derek about this, let's keep it real, bro. I mean, if it was my brother, this would be huge. My brother would know exactly what I'm thinking. You know, Derek is straight up telling David to say this on television. That's how connected it is. He's telling him to say this on TV, that he might not sign up for what Raider Nation has offered him in the past and what they could offer in the future.
About their situation, about who they could bring in. And it's not that I see him at a point where he doesn't believe that they'll do it. He just really wants to see who the new GM is going to be. He wants why he picks Rich. Why he likes Rich is because he knows who Rich is. Yeah. Rich and him have great conversations, and he likes the fact that he was with him through all that chaos, through the nonsense of that last year, and they were able to do something productive. So you can take Rich and let him be the figurehead. You can keep Gus, keep a lot of those guys he brought over from the Chargers. Think about a lot of the free agents they have. Casey Hayward ain't going to stay there if Gus Bradley's not there. There's a lot of guys that aren't going to stay there if Gus is not there. So that's a revamped defense. That's a whole new look. What happens on the offensive side? We know that they struggle a little bit on the right tackle, right guardish side. Alex Leatherwood moved from tackle to guard. A lot of things have to be fixed, right? So there's a lot of decisions that have to be made, and Mark Davis isn't the only one that has to make them.
A lot of decisions that have to be made, and Mark Davis isn't the only one that has to make them. Looks like Derek Carr has a big decision to make via his brother, via his only brother. No, his second brother. He has two. He has Darren Carr too. But to me, that's huge. That's huge. And you know what this is? And I hate to say this, Raider Nation, because you guys know, I love Derek Carr. I've watched him play at Fresno State. That's my hometown. I want him to be a Raider. But they talked about Stafford. He used that as a parallel to Derek Carr. And here's what this is. This is what David Carr's doing now. He is going out there and stumping for his brother and telling other teams and other GMs and other coaches, come get me. Come get me and come make an offer to the Raiders. Why else would you do this? Why else would you go on TV and put the status of the team that you are currently under contract with for $19 million in 22, put the status of that in jeopardy? Why else would you do that? The reason is this is his agent. This is the Carr brothers working in tandem and telling other teams, come make an offer for the Raiders to get Derek Carr. And I hope, and this could happen, I hope the Raiders sign a great GM, great coach, maybe even keep Rich Bisaccia, and are able to convince Carr. But based on what David Carr said today, the Raiders are going to have to convince Carr to stay. He says he needs some help. There needs to be a commitment from the organization that he's going to have what he needs to win a Super Bowl. Because he said, Derek Carr only cares about winning a Super Bowl. He's already played. He's already made some cash. Even thought about hanging it up when Gruden retired. And then boom, he's saying he only cares about winning a Super Bowl, going all the way. Then David Carr goes on to mention the flaws in the Raiders roster. He talks about the flaws on defense if a lot of the Gus Bradley guys leave with the new coaching regime, and then talks about the offensive line. So clearly, David Carr doesn't think Derek has what he needs to win it, and obviously Derek too doesn't think he has what he needs to win a Super Bowl in Las Vegas at this given moment. It's possible if they add some pieces, very possible. But honestly, I just had to make a video right now about this because to me, this is the most intense I have ever seen any of the Carr brothers or even Derek, because this is Derek Carr. I just want to make this clear for Raider fans and people out there. When David Carr speaks on TV, that is Derek Carr. David Carr is just the Muppet, the puppy. He's he's the surrogate for him, right? And this is Derek Carr telling him exactly what to say. And I'm stunned. I'm shocked. But do I blame Carr? As a Raider fan, and I think it's similar to how Lions fans feel with Stafford, I don't blame Derek Carr entirely for this. I want him to be a Raider. I hope he stays a Raider. But just looking through his whole career, man, Dennis Allen's your head coach, Jack Del Rio, John Gruden. John Gruden was the only sense of stability you had. And then the NFL canceled and did a hit job on your head coach. He's gone. He's the guy you wanted to go all in with. He's the guy you wanted to retire with when he hangs it up. That's all gone now. And then you look at this team, maybe it is a rebuild. You got a lot of contracts that expire at the end of 2022. You're going to bring in a new GM and head coach. When's the last time a new GM and head coach came in and on their rookie year, they went to the Super Bowl? Honestly, I don't think that's ever happened, actually. Let me know in the comments if you know of a situation where that has happened. From my recollection, that's never happened. I think Kevin Stefanski going into the playoffs, his rookie year as a head coach is the furthest that a rookie head coach has gone in a long time for the Cleveland Browns. But I think this is a big deal for Derek Carr. He's 30 years old. The clock is ticking on your career. Not everyone could be Tom Brady and, I don't know, getting like baby skin donated to stay young and youthful. Who knows what Tom Brady does? I don't know what this guy does. But not everybody's like that. So people have a shelf life in their career and you want to make do on it. You want to get to a championship. Can you get to a championship at age 30 with the rookie GM and rookie head coach? Probably not. Probably not, right? However, these Jim Harbaugh rumors have floated around. He went to an NFC championship his rookie year as head coach of the Niners. NFC championship, not a Super Bowl, but still a championship nonetheless, and one game away from going to the Super Bowl. That's a possibility. So I think this is interesting. We're going to need some convincing to keep Derek Carr here. Seems like it. And I was just shocked. I was just shocked in general because David Carr could have came out here and said a generic answer. He could have said an answer that was like, Derek Carr likes some of the things, things just need to get better. And, You know, he obviously, his agent's going to weigh the options, but he's just focused on playing quarterback. And that's exactly what Derek Carr said in the presser in the final game of the season. He said, hey, I let my agent handle that, and I just kind of focus on playing quarterback. That is the politically correct, the easy answer, the non-answer, the vague thing that most people say. But instead, David Carr took a twist with it and went out here and went out on a limb to tell other teams, in my opinion, come get me. So let me know what you guys think about that. Leave your comments. How legit do you think this is? Do you think Derek Carr should leave? Do you think what teams do you think he could possibly go to when you look around the NFL? In my opinion, there's tons of teams who need a quarterback. There's tons of teams. I could already think of 2 AFC teams off the top of my head who need a quarterback. I don't think they're Super Bowl ready. Like, you know, teams like the Dolphins, teams like the Broncos, right? But a lot of teams could use a quarterback. A lot of teams could use Derek Carr's services, and maybe we'll find out this offseason how high the demand actually is. This has been Wi-Fi Willie. Like this video if you watched it all the way through. Subscribe to this channel if you want more Raiders videos, news, and updates and analysis. Uh-oh, I'm so flipped out about this. I'm stuttering on my words, bro. Peace out and have a good one. Later.